Hope you're all doing well and taking care, and welcome to this brand new Doctor video on the channel. For today's video, I thought I would talk about Doctor Who's relationship with Disney once again. Now you're potentially wondering, why am I doing a video on this? Because the co-production with the BBC and Disney is very old news now. However, over the last week or so, it's been boiling again in the fandom on social media, especially on Twitter, and there's a lot of talk on, is Disney a positive influence or a negative influence on the future of Doctor Who. This is because in the episode commentary over on BBC iPlayer for The Church on Ruby Road, Russell T Davies mentions that the scene with the Doctor nearly getting killed by a snowman and also meeting a police officer, that scene originally was not in the episode for The Church on Ruby Road, and it was actually an idea by Disney because they saw an advanced screening of The Church on Ruby Road and they gave feedback to the BBC and Russell saying that they felt the Doctor was not introduced early enough in the episode, and they wanted Russell to add a scene where the Doctor was introduced earlier on, and that is exactly what Russell did. And since then, like I said, especially on Twitter, there has been so much talk on Disney and if this means Disney are going to kind of ruin Doctor Who and kind of destroy the franchise going forwards. Now, my personal take on this is, as long as it's good influence from Disney, then I don't really mind them having an influence on Doctor Who, because in my opinion, the scene with the Doctor and the policeman was one of the best scenes from the entire episode. It felt like the scene to establish early on that Ncuti Gatwa is the Doctor. The Doctor just had the charisma and the hope that we would normally expect to see from the Doctor themselves. And yeah, that scene set up the Doctor, the new Doctor, really well in my opinion. Therefore, I don't mind this influence from Disney because, in my opinion, the episode would have been worse off without that scene. And going forward, that is my basic opinion really. As long as Disney continue to give positive notes that lead to a better overall episode, stories, seasons, that sort of stuff, then I don't mind their influence. Obviously though, that will depend on what Disney give to the BBC and Russell, what kind of notes they give. If they start to give notes that have a negative impact on episodes and lead to worse episodes overall, then that is obviously when I will start to have a concern, because I still want the ultimate control to be with the BBC and Russell T Davies and Bad Wolf. I don't want Disney to kind of have too much control in case they lead to negative decisions as a whole. But for now, on this first instance with The Church on Ruby Road, I genuinely believe their influence here, their note on this episode, was a positive one and led to a better experience. I also think that a lot of fans are worried that they kind of look at Disney and look at their management of franchises like Marvel and Star Wars and worry that long term this is what they could do to Doctor Who. And I do understand that completely, because I feel like most people now agree Disney's management of Marvel and Star Wars hasn't been the best, and that's not really the route we want them to go down with Doctor Who, because we obviously want Doctor Who to be a very successful brand, and it doesn't feel like their management of both Marvel, Star Wars isn't the best, isn't in the strongest place right now. But I do think we don't have to worry too much about this, because one, the people making the decisions at Disney for Doctor Who are very unlikely to be the same people making the decisions for Marvel and Star Wars. I would imagine, because Marvel and Star Wars are Disney's biggest brands, it would be more higher up the chain that those kind of decisions for those franchises would be getting made. Compared to Doctor Who, Doctor Who is probably very small in Disney's priorities, to be honest. They don't own Doctor Who, it's just a co-production deal at the end of the day. But for now, I would say that Doctor Who is more likely way down the chain, and it won't be the same people making those sort of decisions for all these franchises. And secondly, I do not think we have to worry at all right now about Disney actually buying Doctor Who, especially with the BBC being under threat at the moment, because it looks like the license fee model might be changing in the next few years, And because of that, it's very unlikely the BBC are going to sell one of their biggest properties, Doctor Who, because it is one of their biggest properties. Sure, you might have franchises like Line of Duty and Happy Valley that get more viewers overall, but you're very limited with those sort of brands. You can't really do very much with them apart from sell it to other broadcasters and maybe do a DVD and Blu-ray, and that's it. Compared to Doctor Who, where you can sell so much merch all around the world. Like, Doctor Who is a very profitability franchise that you can't really do with many other BBC brands. So yeah, I don't think we have to worry at all about the BBC selling Doctor Who to Disney, because the truth is, it's just very unlikely, at least for the next few years or so. It's very unlikely the BBC are going to give up such one of their biggest brands, Doctor Who. The final point I would add is that I've also seen worries that the new fantasy route the Doctor Who is going down is down to Disney, but we don't have any evidence to support that at all. I genuinely believe that will probably just be down to Russell T Davies. He just wants to do a different approach than he did the first time around with his vision for Doctor Who, which I am excited about. I love the first Russell T Davies era of Doctor Who, don't get me wrong, but I want something different. I want something, yeah, more unique this time around. I don't want them to just do RTD1 again. I want them to take a new approach, and doing this sort of new fantasy route that they're going to go down, exploring more mythical creatures. Yeah, I'm down for that, because it is something we haven't really seen very much of in Doctor Who before. And yeah, it does just kind of feel like sometimes maybe people are just trying to push this Disney narrative that Disney are going to destroy Doctor Who, but I just don't think there's much evidence to support that at this stage. But I could be wrong. Maybe in 5 years or so, I will be saying Disney have been the worst thing to ever happen to Doctor Who. And obviously, I don't want that to happen. I want this new co-production deal to be a success. I just genuinely feel right now, for me personally, it doesn't really feel like there's much evidence that Disney right now are going to kill Doctor Who. I think it's a positive, because Disney will probably give more money to the production of Doctor Who, and hopefully we'll get more spin-offs as a result. It looks like we're going to be getting a Sea Devil spin-off very soon, which is exciting. And yeah, hopefully this just means Doctor Who is a bigger brand, especially with Disney. They have such a big streaming platform compared to the BBC, which doesn't really have that big brand all around the world. It's not on the same level as Disney is. So hopefully this will lead to better things overall. And yeah, but like I said, if this means Doctor Who goes down the wrong direction, then in the future, I will say this. I will make videos being like, I am concerned about Disney's influence on Doctor Who. I will definitely do that, because I want Doctor Who to be a success, and I do not want Disney to be a negative influence on Doctor Who. Sure, we like the extra money they are bringing to production, but it's not worth it. I would rather have less money and a stronger show rather than more money and a lower quality show, if that makes sense. But yeah, that is my kind of thoughts on the Disney situation. It's kind of been boiling over the last week or so, but my opinion on the matter hasn't really changed. I'm not really worried about Disney right now, but if that changes in the future, I will do future videos on that, so stay tuned for my opinions. But yeah, in the comments below, give me your own thoughts on this. What are your thoughts about the co-production deal with Disney and Doctor Who? What is your opinions on it so far? Are you concerned? Are you not concerned? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It helps me out. And subscribe for more Doctor Who videos coming on the channel very, very soon. But thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.